Welcome. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Podcasts. Tonight's 7 ways why I stopped being intimidated by education. Something I've noticed in the world is people, people, that's an unrealized thing, but people want to use their education to intimidate you. And see, education will only take you as far as a book. Life experiences and the wisdom, insight, and clarity you attain opens a way for you to expand through life. And something I really understand now is because I rose out of being intimidated by college education to embellish my autodidact acumen to candidly communicate my wisdom, looking people in the eye as we have a conversation. And something is people like to intimidate you during conversation, and people did it to me. I let it go on for a long time. But something I discovered, when your energy rises, not anger, but energy, and you start communicating on an equal communicative level, the arrogance gets frustrated. And see, there's a barrier in this world between the blue collar and the college educated. They think means they got that education and they're sitting in an office, they have it made. But what they really ain't realizing, the people sitting in the office set up policies that cost them money, and they're unwilling to admit it because education will never admit basically when it's wrong. Something I've really noticed over the last 2 years doing my hypnotherapy and my hypnoacuity, you can never communicate with any educated person beyond their education. And I was in a network marketing, and there was a lady in there, and I started talking about the subconscious, and she shut me off right away because when you start talking about when they have to look at themselves, they can't and they won't. And something I've realized in self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, and even psychology books, they can tell you what's wrong, but they can never show you the pathway out. And that's what Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity can. We show you the pathway out. And when people are in their thinking, knowing mind, they're binded in what they think and know. When you open up to your liberating listening and energizing your intuition, imagination, you rise. But people like to intimidate people to feed their ego. If you're dealing with somebody that's feeding their ego, you're never going to have a conversation on an equal level. And I stopped listening to self-help, personal growth, self-improvement in 2009. And I went on my own, I went on an inner voyage and an external journey to discover myself. And when I really did this, I opened up to comprehend a lot of things. When I'm opening up and discovering and expressing my imaged inspirations, I rise of confidence and courage to look life in the eye with an energizing, wise wizardry to ask questions to move forward. See, something that I've expanded out of is I want to communicate like this, back and forth, equal to equal, because I'm thinking of what I got to say and I'm thinking what they're going to say. And then the word goes nowhere. Until now, I listen to ask questions. And when I ask questions, that alleviates all the know-it-all ignorance in the situation. How many times do you go to work and have to deal with a boss that's really arrogant, but you think he's smart because he's in his position? People use egotistical arrogance and know-it-all ignorance to cover up their fears. And something I've really discovered a lot lately is college education teaches negativity, and college education teaches egotistical arrogance to make them think they're better than you because they're afraid to find out that you're a country boy or your ordinary wisdom will make them look bad and feel bad. That's something I've discovered a lot. When you start talking outside of the books, college education is lost. And most people stay inside the books. And that's something I've known about self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, and all this stuff, is they never want to get out of what they learned in school. Everything you learned in school is secondhand information. And it's something everybody else wants you to know. And the business community, all the curriculums were wrote by people like John D. Rockefeller and the Carnegies and stuff like that. And so what organization, silent organization, do they are all involved in? So I opened up to understand when I'm communicating with somebody, I look them in the eye, expressing my sovereign wisdom, look with the guts to listen to them without comparison, interruption, and judgment. And that allowed me to stop being intimidated by life. And so I shut off my insecurities, immaturities, comfort zone, fears, viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs. As soon as somebody says think, no, or beliefs, or opinions, or viewpoints in a conversation, the conversation's over. Because they're into their limitations of themselves. And if you open up to and listen when somebody says think or no, you go into the fears, because people have a fear. I had it. They're afraid of what they know. They're afraid of what other people know, and they're afraid that they may not look as polished as their ego tells them they are. That's something I really have opened up to. My ego, I may only be 5'8", 5'9", but my ego was 72 foot tall. It was bulletproof too. You know, an ego is like when you ever been drinking heavy and you get into that one stage when you're 6 foot tall and bulletproof, your ego's that way. And my ego has gotten me in more BS than I can get out of. In fact, it's probably ruined a lot of friendships, but that's okay. I did it. And see, when you get your opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints, and comfort zone fears, and your opinions, viewpoints, beliefs, and all that involved in your daily conversations, and you're really thinking on what you know and you want to impress somebody because you're smart, how does that conversation end? It ends in a crash. So when I listen to my daily encounters, events, and experiences, I open up to the sculpting innovation and the dreamer's inspirations imaging my daily life. I listen to expand, I think to sneak and stay the same. Just, don't want to sound harsh, but has educated people tried to intimidate you, make you afraid? That happened to me a lot. And one time I was a steward. If you ever want to be hated, be a union steward on a job with a boss that hates the union. That's entertainment. But anyway, I was working in Moses Lake, Washington, and Quincy, Washington, actually. And I'd go in and I'd have a face-to-face conversation with them. And if you could conversate above them, they got mad, frustrated. And see, today we don't put people with a listening backbone. We put one in with a very flexible backbone who'll do whatever they say. And that's the thing. This world don't have the guts and the gumption to rise out of where it's at. And education and business will never rise you out of this. The only one that will rise you out of where you're at is you. And that's something I discovered. But it's about stopping letting life intimidate you And something I really understand, and I can pick up on this now through body language. Communicating with egotistically arrogant people and arrogantly educated people, they have a block. They think means we are country or uh, self-educated, we don't have the knowledge. We probably don't have the knowledge, but we have a wisdom that they'll never have because they're stuck in the muck of yesterday. To me, this world is too educated and stuck in third world business mindsets, will never move forward because everything to move us forward is out of the socialized brainwashing that we learned in school and from third world enslaving mindsets from business colleges. I listen to a lot of people. I don't listen to them for a long time because I see through it. But I heard that CEO of BlackRock talk. You want to talk about having an enslaving mindset? He did. People are human we all have 85,000 emotions and 60,000 thoughts going through our life every day. So every day you're not going to be on the game. Some days you're going to have a bad game, a good game, and it's just going to be, I'm here. And, that's just who we are. And see, we're being taught to be human instead of spirit. See, I'm a spirit energy on a sovereign voyage. You can take that human and put it over there. You can throw it in the ocean or in the garbage because everything I learned in a book that's written by somebody else or outside sources, that is something they're trying to trick me into owning me or controlling me. You want to control the world, you educate them with your philosophies. You look at today. Oh, the business has got to be making money. Everything's got to go to them. But here's the thing. We're giving the businesses money, but did you realize every tax break from the taxpayer is a loan to the corporation? So how would you like to get free money and never have to pay it back? And you can get hundreds of billions and give $1 million in campaign contributions. You got tax break. How does that work? See, something I understand is you got to stop being intimidated by the system, the socialized system that we grew up with. And you also got to rise out of your ancestor anchored programming. Because we always think, oh, that guy's making money. He knows more than me. No, he just trusted his abilities more. And you look at the world, is it going forward or is it just, kind of just some of it's going this way, it's going like this? Because to me, I was born in 1958 and the world is kind of headed south. That's because everybody's relying on and being intimidated. Oh, I can't do that. That's not inside society's trails of fail or in the bales of fail because it's in a boundary. And so they got all this self-help, personal growth, self-improvement going on. But where's the world going? Still can't communicate with anybody because have you ever tried? I've been to them seminars and I tried communicating with some of them. They had their head so far up their nose so far in the air there because all I could think is their feet stunk. Because most of the people in these seminars have a double standard. They're all hunky-dory when you're there, but when you leave it, there's nothing there. So when you open up to understand your wisdom, insight, clarity, intuition, imagination, that's all unique to you. And all these one-size-fits-all programs out there will never rise you out of it. That is something I've discovered for myself. Everything I show, I don't teach people. I show people the way I expanded my life. If that's for you, that's fine. If it's not for you, that's fine. But I'm never going to fit into the socialized BS of self-help, personal growth, and self-improvement, and psychology written books. See, everything taught to a psychologist is in a book. And they're getting out there and they're doing this. But you know, one thing they never let you do is open up to trust your own abilities, agilities, and your dictate, or your self-education. See, everybody thinks self-education is, oh, they're not college educated. They ain't got that book knowledge. Knowledge is what somebody else knows. Wisdom is your hands-on events, encounters, and experiences to emancipate the fresh wisdom within yourself. And you rise to the now I begin, now I won, with foresight, enlighten your light of life. Your everyday life rises you out of everything. Because your intuition and your spirit and whatever all the mystical sources are out there, they're going to show for you to the physical world, events, encounters, experiences, and the people and everything that's going to rise you out of that situation and put you on the tram of I scram out of yesterday's success. They're going to put you on the bullet train of trend-setting, rebellious audacity, invigorating now. And you know, that's something else I really understand. People are afraid of now. They talk about it. And they do, oh, redo this, rethink this. When you redo something, your subconscious mind is comfortable because, well, we've done this. We know what this is. When you open up to now energize, now imagine, now this, now that, you let go of yesterday. So as you rise to your unique talents, and you rise out of all the secondhand information and everything the wannabe powers of the world want you to know so they control you. Education is a silent control. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just about opening your eyes to knowing education is everything everybody else wants you to know. And history is all secondhand information because there's nobody here today was on that battlefield or whatever it was thousands of years ago. And the powers to be, they want you tied up in knots with their sky is falling crap. So it's time to cut loose the caboose of everything from yesterday to ride the tides of today, opening up your now born brilliance to realize you listened to today to rise out of yesterday. And something else I understand, education and computers lack everyday horse sense because everything is in a book and it's in a thinking mind, and there's nothing to rise us out of it. And you know, you look at the world, it's the same today as it was. Yeah, we got AI now, but how is AI going to steal the innovation of people? Because we don't have to do any inner inspections or inner listening. We can just go punch the computer and let them do it. How are we actually being dummied down by AI? Trust me, I use AI, but I got these refining hairs on the side. I'll be okay. But the kids today are not going to have all the wisdom of just what it is. You know, the wisdom of, like, I grew up on a farm. They're not going to have all the experiences and the wisdom of being on a farm. Chaos is liberation. Chaos challenges adversity, controversy, and all unsavory events, encounters, and experience in your life. That's liberation. And awakenings to expand you out of where you was yesterday to put you on your liminal carpet glide of genuine, liberated intuition, dawning, entertaining experiences to open your eyes to your whys. As I staunchly stop being intimidated by my insecurities, immaturities, and brainwashed, socialized bullshit to realize and admit fraudulent, indoctrinated education is keeps me in the same place as I was yesterday, because college professors and self-educated, because college professors arrogance carries through to college graduates, and then when they get out of there, they think that college education, and everybody that, like me, I grew up on a farm and I've witnessed this, they think because they got that education they have no morals and ethics. And I can say that. And most college graduates have zero integrity to me. Because if they know they got that little piece of paper, they get their backbone is like that piece of paper to me. As I feel my frequencies of sovereignty flow through my veins of liberation, instantly lightning bolts my autodidact audacity, self-educated audacity to understand and admit the winds of wisdom blows bold, liberating, optimistic wizardry through me to spree my spirit prowess, revolutionizing, emancipating elegance that dances me through life with gleaming dreamers daredevilry. As I swiftly stop being intimidated by life, bosses, college-educated people, arrogant co-workers, and especially the ones that are, well, what we used to call are the boss's pets. Arrogance, college-educated people and their egotistical arrogance think that degree makes them smarter than the self-educated that has invisibly created a snobbish boundary through the world with an aristocratic attitude that their education makes them think that education makes them smarter than the self-educated, and they may be smarter, but they're never wiser. Life experiences make you wiser. Because everybody understands something you don't, and they have a nugget of wisdom. And when you're doing something, they look at it, they have a different they have a fresh way to witness it and listen to it and discover a fresh pathway out of it. As I now realize and admit, education is knowledge, and life is endeavoring wisdom, forever in motion, expanding my adventurer's acumen. As I look at the world today, the world is stuck in a third world, enslaving educated mindsets. A business and education are only way to create wealth in the world is a fallacy. People's intuition, imagination, and ingenuity will move you forward. And that is a fallacy taught to the world, because education has no zero imagination. And an educated society is easily controlled and keeps people looking outside themselves rather than listening to their streaming spirit prowess and heart harmonizing frequencies and soul synergy that animates my autodidact audacity, magnifies my frequencies of liberating listening, hearkens my free-flowing imaged inspiration, fashion designer intuition, sculptor imagination, movie maker magic to rise the world of liberated health, wealth, fun, and free cash flow for all. Now and forevermore, I soar a sovereign optimist. But something I really want people to understand: you are equal to everybody. And your wisdom, in your unique wisdom, may not fit into society. Stop trying to fit into society and into a college-educated world, and listen to your intuitive airwaves of bravery to trust your own abilities. And with that, I want to say good night. We'll see you next Tuesday with something. Anyway, enjoy your weekend and have fun.